In this video, I'm going to show you how to use WP eStore. So you go to your dashboard of your WordPress site and you'll scroll down to WP eStore, and you have several options here. What we're going to do is add a product, because if this is your first time, you probably don't have any products in there. So we'll click on that. And you want to put the product name. Let's see. So I'm just going to do a product that I have. Okay, so that's the name. And then you want to put the price in. And then each of these have different things in them, each of these buttons. So if you just click on them, it'll open up. So here we want a product description. And so I have one here. So let's just take this. Let's see if that will work. Okay. That's the full title. Then if you want a thumbnail, that's mainly just for you. But I have a picture of this, so I'll go grab it. It's already in my media library. If it's not, you can just click on that previous button that will let you upload one. And so I will just find it in here. Here we go. It distorts it a little bit because it's a square and these are all rectangles, but it's okay for what we're doing. Okay, and then if you want to use your own button, you can put that in here, and I'll show you on another product where I do that, but for this one I don't need another button. And then if it's a digital product that they can download as soon as they buy it, then you want to click on this, and you're going to want to put the URL in here. So for that, we go to our library, media library here, and you can click Add New and select your file and upload it. My file is already here, so once you upload it, it will appear right here as the last one. And so let me just find mine and then I'll show you what to do. Okay, here it is. So launch your workshop PDF. So this is a PDF, so I'm going to click on it. And right here is the link to it. So what you want to do is click in here and hit copy all and copy, or select all and then copy. And then I usually have to have two windows to do this. Then you go back here and you put that link in here. And so then what will happen is when they buy that product, this will automatically download on their computer. Okay. And then the other thing is, if you want to have this, the nice feature about this WP eStore, which is why I use it, is that on most products, I want to have an Autoresponder Series. And then you would put the list name in here. For this product, I'm not doing that, so I'll show you again on another product. But for now, we're done with this product, so I'm just going to click Save. And then what happens is it gives you a product ID number. And now I can go to my, just open another window here. I can go to the page that I want to put this on, and products is the page, I think. No. So if I want to put it on a page like this, if you have a list of all your products, and then you have a separate page for each one, then that's a different process, because you'd need this buy button here and that kind of thing. So that's sort of a different issue. But if we want to just add it to a list of products, I'll show you a different way to do that, which is in here. If we go to this page, this is a list of products, which is where this launch your workshop is going to go. And so you'll see they all look the same. So they have this add to cart and the price. And so that's a certain code. So so in WordPress, you would just put that code in, and I'll show you that. So there are two different ways to do this. So if you have it listed like this, this is an optimized press page. So I'd have to go in this way. So if you have an optimized press page, then this is how you would do it. And so you'll see this is the code here. So this is a custom HTML code element, and I just add to it every time. So this was product 96. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste that, and then change this to a 6. And this code here makes it stay in the center. So you can copy that out too if you want to put it in the center. And that's just for HTML. So if that's too complicated for you, you'll have to have a web designer do that. But this is how you do it in Optimized Press. And then when I save and close this, and we'll take a look at it and see how it looks. So there it is. You see how it kind of distorts the picture a little bit. But anyway, that's if you're doing it that way. Now I'm going to go to a separate page and show you how to do it another way. And that is, let's just go back to the dashboard. And I will get a page for you. So I'm going to just do this as a practice page. This page here. So, you may have some words about your product here. You just grab this again, put it in here. And then with the WP eStore, you'll see this little shopping cart. So here's the short codes. So we looked at one short code. And what I did was I just went through these until I found one that I liked. So if you pull this menu down, here are all the different codes that you can use. So some of them won't apply if you haven't added something. So for instance, some of these some of these require the photo. So if you hadn't put a thumbnail photo in, it's not going to work. So I'll just show you one of these. So we'll click on Fancy One, and you click on Insert, and then it's going to ask you for the short code. So we just made the 96, or not the short code. It's going to ask you for the item number. So 96 is what they want here. So if we say OK, then you see that that's the code for that. And if you want to put it in the center, you just go up here, put it in the center, and you'll see that that's that code that I showed you before. It's a little different in here because it's a P, but anyway, so now we're going to save this draft and we're going to take a look at it and see what it looks like. So we'll hit preview. And it should come up shortly. Okay, so that's what that one looks like. Now we can go back and change this. So let's try another one. Let's just try this first one here. See what it looks like. Put 96 in. Save the draft. And then just go to this one and refresh it, and it'll show how it looks new. Okay, so here, so that one doesn't have the picture, just has the description and add to cart. Now, if we want to use our own button, let's go back here and I'll show you a different product. So if we want another button, we go in here and we're going to put the button image here. So I will show you on a different product what that looks like. So this one is going to have a button. And so here's the button. So you would do the same thing. So you hit upload file, and then you load the button, or if it's in your media library already, you can just hit that and find it. And like, for instance, this probably says buy now. So I can just search for it if I didn't already have it, and it would show me the button that I wanted. And then you just insert it there. Okay, so that's in there. So this is number 95. So let's just go back to this and we can put a different code in. We'll try a different code also. So let's try this one and put insert, and we're going to put 95 this time. And we'll save that draft. And meanwhile, also on this number 95, I wanted this to go to an autoresponder. So down here under autoresponder, it gives you samples of different autoresponders here. Mine is Aweber, so it shows here example list name at Aweber. So that's where that goes. And then when they purchase this, they're automatically added to the autoresponder, where I have several emails that give them more information about that product and help them work through it. Now, the other thing on here that you might want to use sometime is the subscription thing. So if you're in here, if you're doing something that's a recurring payment, then that's where this goes. And I'll show you how that looks in another product. Let's go back here and see what happened here. So we're going to refresh this page. And so you can see now it has that buy button. Now let's say we don't want this setup, we want a different kind of setup. So we're going to go back here and we're going to select a different code. And the code that I've been using is, let's see, might just be this one. But let's go look and see what it is. So this is the one that I normally use. And let's just see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to show you this other way. So if we have this button here, this is a different code. And so I don't have all the codes memorized, so we'll go take a look and see what it is. But it's the same code that we can use on the other page if we want. So this just depends on whether you have a separate sales page for each product or whether you have a list of them. So here's the code if you want to use the button. So we'll go back here, it's the Buy Now Button ID code. So we'll find that. Buy Now Button ID code. So let's put 95 in there and see how it looks. Okay, so now we'll refresh this. And there you just have the button. And if we want to, so you notice that even though this is in the middle, over here it's on the left. That's because, for some reason, if you use the code with the P, it doesn't work as well. So we need to change it to DIV. And as you saw previously, that's what I was using. And we'll see if this works. We may have to change this code too, but let me just check here. And we'll see. Yeah, so that moved it over. So that's pretty much all you need to know. I know this is a lot, but if you just go through this video several times, you'll be able to grasp it. One other thing I wanted to show you was that if you have a subscription of an ongoing thing, in here under recurring billing, you would put the amount for that time. And then if it's a month, then it's 30 days. You can have, you know, months or years. This is a default. When it's checked, that means that the payment will be reattempted 2 more times. After the 3rd time, it'll be canceled. If you have a program where there's just so many payments, like 3 payments or 12 payments, then you put that in here. And if you want to offer a trial, like first 30 days, it's only $7, then you would just put 7 in there and you'd put 30 days in here. So that's how you would use this if you have a payment thing. So we're not going to save that because we don't have that. So the rest of these things you don't need to fool with. So I just showed you the main ones, the product details, the digital download, the autoresponder setting, and then the subscription. Now, if you want them to go to a certain page rather than download a digital thing, this is where you do it. So buy now, subscription or donation type button. So for the gold membership, for example, let's just take a look at that for a second. Gold membership. So for this, this is the button that I have. And when they click on it, I want them not only to go onto my autoresponder list, but I want them to be directed to a page where they're going to fill out their information. So this is the page that they're going to go to. So I'll just show you what that looks like here. So I want them to fill this out here. And this is actually the autoresponder. So for this particular product, instead of going directly to the autoresponder, I want them to go here, and this is connected to my Aweber autoresponder, but I want more information than just their name and email. I want their phone number, their address, their website, and who they were referred by. So that if they're in the United States, I send them a package in the mail, so I need their address and I need their phone, so that if they don't fill out their profile form, that I can call them and that kind of thing. So that's another way to handle a product, is by sending them to a page. Now, you may have a download page. So if I want to just direct somebody to a download page where there's videos and things, let me just find a page to show you. So for instance, this course has a bunch of videos on it. And so I could take this URL here and just add it in here, and then they would go straight to that page. So that's pretty much it. So now go ahead and try adding some pages. Just do a few practice ones like this, and you know, see how it works. Some of these buy now buttons I've just copied from other websites. You can just go and do a screenshot of them and then use them for your own. There's no copyrights on these kind of things. So that's it. Hope that helps, and if you have any questions, let me know.